And then we settle. Now he can't move just because I moved back to it. We've got to say to the horse, you don't do anything until I ask. So if I'm petting you, you don't need to move. But I'm going to have the rein ready that if I press pressure on his rib and he doesn't move, why did you move? This needs to happen right now, not tomorrow. I don't have all day. I've got to save my life and this horse's life. I don't think he's dangerous by any means, but the quicker response I get, the safer we are both going to be. That if I press him with my hand and he doesn't move, I'm going to swat him on the rear. Say, what are you doing? Now I'm going to saddle him. Any reaction, he has to give me some kind of reaction. Now, I'm going to start coming back here, and he's going to start moving around on his own. And I'm just going to wait him out. I'm going to keep pulling that face. Now he's starting to pick up what I'm going to do. This is what we're talking about, the creatures of habit. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to put weight on me. So I'm just going to keep petting on him, petting on him. He's outguessing me. He's trying to outguess me now. He can't outguess me. He has to wait on me. We'll pet on him and we'll come out. Now, everybody's heard when they lick their lips and all that stuff. It's true. He just licked his lips trying to figure out what I'm doing. So we're going to let him settle a little bit. If he walks off, I'm going to pull on his face. Just because I'm coming around him and I've swatted him on the rear a couple times doesn't mean he's supposed to bolt and run. I won't ask him to move his hip again until he settles down again. I'll even go back to the other side and do it on the other side to see, because I've stirred up that side, I'll ask him from this side and be ready to do the same thing. I've just mixed, or two-sided horses have two brains. If he doesn't move, there's a very nice response there because I touched him with my thumb. I didn't have to jab him. I touched him with my thumb and he moved away from it. Like I said, if you want because the horse is 1,200 pounds, we can't have them like lap dogs. They can't jump in your lap and lick on your face and all that stuff. You'll get killed. Better control I have of him, like I said, the better off we're all going to be. Or the safer. It doesn't mean he can't still hurt me. It doesn't mean he can't butt me off. It means if I get control of him, of everything he's trying to do, and I have more control. The more control I have on the ground, good boy. Doesn't mean it's going to be automatic when I get on it, but it means I've got we're developing some kind of issue here. Who is going to be the alpha leader? Him or me? We can be friends with their horse, but we can never be a step lower than them, ever. His job in his life is to become the alpha leader. From the time he was born, every day of his life, he's saying, how do I get to the top? How am I going to be the top of this herd? And right now, when I walked up to the horse, he didn't know me from Adam, just like he wouldn't in a herd. He said, I don't know you, but my first job is to be the alpha leader. I need to take control of you. And I have to say, guess what? It's not going to happen. I'm not going to beat you up, but I am the alpha leader. You're not. Once you establish that, then you can kind of go on about your business. But it's much easier to establish it on the ground before I get on the backs. And you can do a little bit or you can do a lot. I got him to move his hips, and I expect him to go around in a circle. And most all the horses have been, people have gotten the tapes and learned how to lunge horses. Everything I do on a horse's back, he should do exactly the same thing on the ground. I expect horses to be bent around my inside leg. This is the hardest part. People say this is easy. This is the very hardest part. Because this horse needs to be bent. He's on a circle. I see people lunging horses with the nose on the outside. The horse is trotting around, the nose is to the outside, and the ribs are to the inside. Why would this horse expect to do anything different when I got his back if I didn't do it this way. So every time he looks out there, I'm going to pull on that nose. You know, because you've got to keep your nose to me, and but you've got to stay away from me. You've got to keep your nose to me. Got to keep your nose to me. If I'm on his back, he's got to keep his nose to the inside of the circle. Good. Good. If I allow him to do what he wants, I'm going to give him his head. He's going to look out to the left. As soon as you see him look at you, audience, see how he leads with his right shoulder? Every time he moves his nose to the left, right there, his right shoulder leads. I would not allow that to happen. Any kind of reaction to not going forward, I'm going to show a little aggression to him. I don't have a lunge whip. I'm not big on lunge whips. I'll use them. But I should be able to show aggression or forward motion through my body to keep this horse moving. If I quit, this horse has probably been lunged quite a bit. If I quit the energy he's supposed to get, now I don't jerk on a horse's mouth to slow him down. I step in front of him. So I'm trying to say through my body language, like a herd animal would, like the alpha leader would do, is say, you need to get out of my space. You need to get out of my space. If I come towards this horse aggressively, he needs to get out of my space. If I wanted to slow down, I'm going to step in front of him, and if I come to him softly with no aggression, he should wait on me. I like petting on horses. I think it comforts them. I think they start figuring it out, that we're not the predator, which they assume we are. Now, horses don't need to walk off. People, we're doing a real quick lesson lunch. This is a total lesson different than what I do, but people need to learn how to do groundwork. If you're going to do groundwork, do it correctly or don't do it. You'll ruin more horses. When I step back here, this horse is not supposed to leave or move his feet or do anything. He's supposed to stand. So I put him right back to where they were. I'll just move his shoulders over, stand and pet on him, and I'll step out and I'll step back before he can follow me. Step out, step back before he can follow me. If he moves his shoulders, I'm going to step back in there and move his shoulders. Then I'm going to lay him down and I'm going to lock him out. Say, wait a minute, where are you going? We don't need to be going anywhere. Horses are so used to say, put him on a lunge line, crack him on the rear, make him run around in circles, get on and take the exercise. Take the energy out of it. That didn't take energy. You'd have to rope this horse for 2 hours to take the energy out of him. So we're trying to say to him, be patient, will you? Just because I step back, I'm not going to crack you. The only reason he's supposed to go, if I'm on his back, my legs do it. If I'm on the ground, the energy of me doing it, either my body energy or clucking. So I go in and out on horses a lot. So they stay right there. I don't run to 20 feet out because I know he'll follow me. So I'm going to do a short distance at a time. I'll say, stay there, good boy. I'll come back in and pet you. Stay there. Good. I'll go out another step. I'll go back in. It's patience. With horses, it has to be patient. You have to have lots of patience. From this point, I'm going to say, he stood there. I'm not going to try to get to my line. And another thing I'll mention before I get on him, the 20-foot line does not help you or him unless he knows how to do it on a short 5-foot rope. If he won't do it on a 5, I can't control him on a 20. So when I step out of here from here, I'm going to step towards the drive line, and he shouldn't leave because I step towards the drive line. So I'll say, hey, good boy. If I'm on him, he doesn't leave when my leg swings over his back. Not supposed to. Now, we're going to say, you need to go forward. And so that's going to be me creating some kind of energy. He doesn't have to bolt and run, and he doesn't, which is good. He's only supposed to increase his energy if I squeeze him harder with the leg, or I increase more energy through my voice. I don't do voice commands, walk, trot, canter, because if you're in a pen of 20 horses, and then there's another arena right next to you, and the announcer says to that class, canter, and you're in a trot, then your horse is going to lope off. I teach horses to my age. So then, from this point, we're going to increase him into a trot. If we practice slowing horses down, to break into a walk and step right back into the drive line. Now, in my opinion, horses that face you are okay, but 75% of people who buy the tapes and get their horses to face them, they can't make them go in a circle. Once the horse learns to face them, they run backwards. Has that ever happened to anybody? That the horse just runs backwards and backwards and backwards, you can't get to them? It's because they've allowed their horse to face. I'm not that lazy. Here's how I change the direction on the horse. I can do all the tricks. I'll step in front of them, stop them, and I'll change his direction by making him do it how I would do it on his back. I will tie the other rein up. And the lazy person stands out there and does all the tricks, and I can do all the tricks too. But what I feel is, I'm not that lazy, and I can teach my horse lots of different things by doing groundwork this way instead of the pretty stuff. I can say, look, we're going to change direction. I want you to rotate around your hips. And this horse has done some of this, I'm sure, because he wouldn't have done this easy. I'm going to move his hips, move his shoulders, and not let him walk forward on me. We're going to go back to the same thing. Say, hey, wait a minute. It's not walk over me. It's walk away from me. Move your shoulders and stop. Then we'll do the same thing on this side for a real quick minute. Head on him, step away. Head on him, step away. Good boy. Head on him. This doesn't mean anything bad. Step away. Patience, patience, patience. Good. Smooch. Whatever it takes to get him moving. See, he keeps wanting to face me because he knows if he faces me, he can not move his feet. He doesn't have to move his feet if he faces me. That's the same thing on his back. Your leg says go forward. When I'm sending you forward, you have to keep going forward. He goes, stop, start him again. Now, when a horse reacts like that, I'm going to get after him more because it's resistance. When he threw his head up and swished his tail a little bit at me, that's aggression, the beginning of aggression towards me. I don't have to do what you asked. I don't have to do what you asked. I don't have to move forward. I can move sideways, but I'm going to keep control of him until he moves sideways. Until he moves forward. You can't keep trying to go backwards and sideways to get away from going forward. I'm now the leader. He can stop when I ask him to stop, and we'll be buds. We'll step in front. Let him walk. Same thing, no peeking out the windows. When I pulled on his nose a little bit, he assumes. That's why you have to pull and release and keep the energy going forward. Pull, release, keep the energy going forward. If I pull too hard and don't think about energy, he's going to swing his hips to the outside and come towards me. We'll step in front of him. Okay, that's enough of ground lessons. More ground lessons.